Oh, I burned my mouth. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another Koze Daily Brew. Today we're going to be talking about how 6 months is really all that you need to change your life. I feel like it is one of those things that, I don't know, it's like anytime we think that we need to do a big life makeover, or if you're ever just like, do you ever just get in that mood where you're just like, there's this big giant mountain in front of you and you see the other version of you on the other side of that mountain, like the higher version of you, the better version, the version of you that like does all the things that you know you wish and want to be doing but just haven't started doing yet. You know how there's just like that peak mountain, but then you also know the feeling when you're staring up that mountain and it feels like it's going to take the sum of 5 years to get to the lifestyle that you want to live. Well, that is kind of the premise or the concept behind today's video, that what we all really truly need is 6 months of really hard focus in order to see the types of change that we really want to have in our lives, more than we'll ever really need 5 kind of, fickle, uncommitted years. So if you guys think about like the whole concept of, I don't know if you've ever heard this theory before, but if you're told that you have a week to write a speech, odds are it will take you exactly a week to write a speech. But if I told you that, you needed to have a speech ready for tomorrow for your best friend who won an award, you would take tonight and you would be able to write probably the same length of speech that you would in a week. Why? Because usually the amount of time that we have to do something is oftentimes the amount of time it takes to do something. There's this weird thing that our brain does. When something is not urgent or needs to be done right away, we think, oh, we have 3 days to do that, or, oh, we have a week for that. Well, our brain then goes, okay, so it's gonna take me roughly a whole week to get there. But normally, 9 times out of 10, we actually do all the work the night before, if not like the 2 nights before, within that 48-hour period right before something is kind of like due to be done. So when you take that theory and you zoom in on life, or zoom out, on life, you'll notice that a lot of the big changes, a lot of the big dreams you might have, a lot of the big goals you might want to, shift or change in your life, it might feel like it might take a 5-year version of you to get there, but in all reality, if you can give yourself 6 months of hardcore focus and hardcore just like 100% or 200% commitment, then you're gonna see way more results in those 6 months than you would if you have committed for the next 5 years. There's this little trick, or I guess it's not really even a trick, this thing that my brother and I were talking about the other day. We were driving back from Ottawa and we were talking about just like all of this stuff in general and just changing your life and all of that good stuff. And one of the things that we were talking about is the concept that time is passing either way. So there's a version of you 6 months from now that already exists. In all reality, you can pretty much draft up that version of you in your mind. Now, there's 2 versions of you that you can land on, There's a version of you where nothing changes, and there's a version of you where everything changes. But the difference between which one you end up with is completely down to you. So either way, those 6 months are gonna go by. Either way, December, whatever us, is going to be a person. And they will be 6 months older, they'll be 6 months wiser, they'll be 6 months just, they'll have grown I can't say 6 so many times in a row. They'll have grown 6 months more than we have right here, right now. That said, with those 6 months that pass, you have complete control over what you choose to do with those 6 months. Now I'm talking not like, I'm gonna try next week, I'm gonna start again on Monday, I'm gonna start again on August 1st, I'll start again on September 1st, because the more we do that, the more we're just pushing off living the life that we really want to live. There's a big goal that you have. I'm not saying you have to complete it in 6 months. I'm just saying that 6 months of hardcore focus. I mean, like literally tapping into it every day, not letting your usual excuses or mistakes stop you, just 6 months of that. Doing that for 6 months, you would be astounded the amount of things that you could get done, the amount of moves you could make, and the amount of change you could create in your life. So if you map and plan appropriately what you're actually looking to accomplish in 6 months, and that's also really important, and perhaps maybe a Koze Daily for another time, but just like actually mapping out 6 months and doing so in a way that is realistic. This is kind of like an important factor of the whole concept of this video, is that you also need to do so in a way that's tangible and realistic and without burning yourself out. We're not looking to burn ourselves out here, because that is also not long term. And if you want long lasting change, then you're going to need to make sure that within the next 6 months of work that you actually are doing, that you're making it just something that is balanced, something that actually works for you. It's basically just a means of trying to go 6 months without giving up on yourself, 6 months without giving yourself the excuse or the out or procrastinating any longer, and just seeing where you might actually land at the end of those 6 months. I know for me, a lot of the times, the bigger changes that I needed in my life, the bigger deadlines that I had in my life, or bigger projects or bigger goals that I've been working on, are things that I ended up accomplishing when I actually just gave it my 100% focus. That's a hard thing to do when you have a lot of goals and a lot of dreams up on the board. So in a lot of ways, I think that we need to prioritize the top things that we're looking to actually accomplish given our time. What is most important to you? What change do you want the most in your life? Where do you want to be in 6 months from now above all of anything else if you had to choose one thing? And let that one thing be the thing that you do drive or hook your focus on for the next 6 months. It doesn't mean you can't work on the other things. It just means that no matter what, you give 100% of your focus to this one thing every single day. And the difference of starting there is that when those 5 years go by and you're spending 6 months zoning in on one goal or one focus at a time, the difference and shifts you'll make in those 5 years, again, will be substantially different, given that those 5 years pass by and you half commit, half don't commit to like 12 different things all the time. It's not an easy thing to do. I know for me, I am somebody that likes to have a lot of things on the go at once, or maybe I don't even like that, I don't know, but I'm someone that generally does that to myself. I tend to focus on a lot of things at once, but doing this whole zoning in on one thing and just zoning in on that for like a season of the year, that makes it so much easier to then, sometimes back burner the non-higher priority goals and zone in and make a big lasting change in the one big goal that feels like it's the top priority in my life. Now that might mean that, for 6 months, maybe your focus is on increasing your level of friendships and social life and getting out there and networking and meeting new people. Or maybe for 6 months you focus on your fitness and your health and your overall just wellness. Maybe for 6 months you focus on writing a book. Maybe for 6 months you focus on landing your dream career, or you spend 6 months focusing on getting the house of your dreams. But whatever it is, pick your top priority. What is the number one biggest thing you want to see happen for yourself in the next 6 months or in the next 5 years, and give yourself 6 months of mapping it out and 6 months of dedicated routine focus, and then just see where you're at. Now, we'll be chatting in 6 months, because come December, it's not going to be a Koze Daily season because that will be in November, but come December, there will be a season or series that's going on my main channel, realistically probably going to be a Christmas one, and I'm curious to see where we'll be and what we'll be talking about come those 6 months. Either way, I hope you guys stick around for it and you're able to tell me 6 months from now what we all did starting with this video and where we're all at with it. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's Koze Daily Brew, and I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Bye guys.